contacting all you souls. And you're just going to come clean that you are souls. I'm a soul. My incarnation is that of Ramdas. And as souls, we live in a loving universe. We're each capable, through our souls, of unconditional love. That is, you're loving everybody, you're loving everything. You're not picking and choosing. What Maharaji did for me in this first meeting, he showered unconditional love, and I had never experienced that. It changed my life. So I can say, I love you. I love you, but I'm saying it to a camera. But I know you're out there. And I love you, all of you. Including me. And if you don't think you're worthy of love, think again. Try a little love. Love everybody. Love me. Love everybody in your home. People around you. The animals. The trees and flowers. Clouds. Rain. Everything. Everything. You've got to get into the experience of being in the bath of love. When you can be in that bath of love, you are in your soul. You know, our egos produce fear and anxiety. But our souls produce love. And when you say to somebody, I love you, you have gone down into your soul and brought the clear water of love. Usually, I love you comes out ego-y. I love you, you better love me. But it's still not ego. It's just filtered through the ego. So you and I are spiritual beings. That's what souls are. And from where I'm sitting, we have gone through countless incarnations. And we're lucky to be meeting in this incarnation. Our incarnations are learning devices for our souls. And they're learning devices fashioned for our karma that our souls have. The whole thing of incarnation is reacting to our karma, our soul's karma. Our parents, our bodies, our social life, our world, times we live in. These are all fashioned for you to work out your karma. Part of this is what the new physicists say, that we are projecting the universe, our universe. And that projection is our world view. And it is teaching us lessons to reduce our karma. You are in between, not now, but before. You are in between incarnations, and that means you are beyond time, beyond space. Your soul is not within time and space. Your ego is within time and space. Your soul is in eternity. And that's freedom. That's freedom. Being in your soul you're not afraid of death because it's just another death. It's another moment. It's another moment in the soul's progression. Of course, your ego has plenty of fear of death. And part of our culture is ego-driven. When I lived in India, in a little village, and in the temple, the people around me were identifying with their souls. And they witnessed their incarnation. They didn't get lost by identifying with their roles. A sweeper could be a sweeper, and he was still a high soul. A person could be a king, and his soul was high or not, depending on his incarnation. That's why we react to the castes in India, well, they don't mind at all because they are soul. And I know I've been from India, I fly to New York City, and I would go into ego world. Most people, because of their egos, identify with their roles. The role of business person, role of mother, father, the role of wise guy, the role of intellectual. We play our roles out. We as souls play our incarnation roles. Now, how do you play it? The ego plays the role. The soul watches the play. See, the ego has to play the role because that's the only way the learning can take place. You can't watch your incarnation eternally. You have to dip in to your incarnation. Now, dipping in is a curious thing. Because we can dip in so that we forget what we are as souls. Souls are part of God. And some of us identify with our roles in life and even forget that we are God. So, you want to practice being the soul. Like loving everything, loving yourself. You're loving your ego. Another way is to this amala. This is, I repeat the word, not Ram, 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 Ram. That's a word for God. And you go out on the street and Ram, Ram. I feel I Ramize the street. And when I get my Ram, Ram going, I look around and there are souls. There's the souls in the post office. There are souls in the on the street. But they're all souls. Most of them are caught in their roles. And I don't make a point of it. I don't like, oh boy, that's the way you get killed. You have compassion in your heart for all those people who are caught in this, in their incarnations. So when you're walking in the streets, Ram, 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 and that's one plane of consciousness. And another plane of consciousness, I'm sitting talking to you. And if we can join in Ram, 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 at that plane, that's what satsang is. That's the community of love. And we all are all just playing our roles. Playing our roles. So, this is the Ram, Ram, Ram is remembering God, remembering the One. There are other remembering devices. You look around at your environment and they are all manifestations of God. Trees, the rain, your body, the chair, it's all manifestations of God. It's all spirit. You're living in spirit. And the fact that you see it or hear it as objects is part of your incarnation. The fact that you see objects, including yourself, it's all spirit. It's all spirit. Here we are, you and I, we're souls. We're playing in the world of spirit. And don't take the world of things too seriously. Seriously. But there's a thing, there are ways you dip into incarnation, which the dip causes you to forget God, to forget God inside. Say you're addicted to anything, power, say, and you're addicted, and you're striving to a goal, to that addiction brings you to. You're going to not pick up your mala while you're addicted. The mala before or after, because mala isn't relevant to that addiction or that desire. Take a fellow who has sexual addictions, and he fantasizes as a woman comes by, and the fantasy is so strong, it's so addicting. When he's in the middle of it, you say to him, identify your soul. He can't, because the addiction is so strong. But you could have said, identify with your soul, and then a woman walked by and he wouldn't react. because he was deep in his soul. And he'll be interested when he finishes the addiction. He'll say, I was addicted. I was captivated by that person. But it's the past. It's the past. And the soul can handle the past. The past and the future are all thoughts in the mind. If you hear that, that's a bird. It's a bird. Because in Maui we have many, many birds. So best to treat your addictions by remembering God, and then the addiction won't affect you. And if it does, you just haven't remembered it. Maharaji is, for me, is the representative of God. And I remember Maharaji. I'd say I go hour by hour, not minute by minute, but I still get lost and then go up and get lost and then go up. I'll remember Maharaji. Remember Maharaji. I'll remember Maharaji. And I'll remember Maharaji before I get caught in my desires and my addictions. And then he helps me. Because his consciousness makes light of my addiction. And helps me make light of them too. let's, you and I, get together to be our awareness. We can't see awareness because awareness, you can be your awareness. You be your awareness, and I'm being my awareness. I'll tell you, I have awareness down in the chest. I think up here, but the awareness is God. It's the soul. We can say, I am awareness. But first you got to go stepwise. I am my awareness. And then I am the awareness. That is the Atman, the God within. The one is one awareness. It is one love. It is one thing of beauty. It is one wisdom. One compassion. One peace. And you can withdraw through being your awareness back into your core, and you become peace, and you are become wisdom. Become compassion. Become beauty. Become all of it. You realize that's who you really are. That's who you really are. That's the reality. The reality that's common to all of us, and it stands behind the Maya, the fantasies, the stuff that our minds create of our environment. That's why I say to people who want peace in the world, I say, why don't you go inside and find peace inside? Then you will exude peace, and you will live in a peaceful environment. the job of each one of us to find peace in the world. Now both of us, or all of us, are meeting in the our awareness. You're aware of what your eyes are focusing on. You're aware of what your ears are telling you. Now you'll be aware of the river of thoughts I meditated one summer at the temple in Zaniko, Kenshi. And I meditated sitting on a rock in the middle of a river. And the river come towards me and on the sides of me. And meditating and meditating. And then there would be a little bit of flotsam and jetsam, or a little bug, or a fish, and then and my head would turn to that object. That's what you, the river of thoughts, and then a thought, and you follow a thought, and you've broken your meditation. So look at a river of thoughts, and they're only thoughts. They're only thoughts. We inhabit our thoughts. It's terrible. I'm a good person. Thought. I'm a bad person. Thought. The world is bad. Thought. I've got to get some of that. Thought. Thoughts. Your world is full of your thoughts. And you only see them as you can identify with your awareness. And that awareness is our soul. Is God. Is Ram. Ram. And the thoughts go by. Thoughts go by. Thoughts go by. So remember, remember, remember. Remember. Remember the moment. The awareness of the moment. That's where God is. That's where God is. Remember. Remember. Remember, you are the soul, a loving, loving soul. You are a loving, aware soul. You have just come to this incarnation as your karma writ large. See you in the funny papers.